close your eyes for a moment. Think about the last time you were truly, deeply angry. Feel what happened in your body, your heart pounding. It's your brain's alarm system. Its way of saying, something isn't right. But what happens when that alarm doesn't stop ringing? When the fire inside never goes out and anger becomes the default lens through which you see the world? That's what we call chronic anger. And in today's video, we're going to unpack exactly how it hijacks your brain, rewires your emotions, and, more importantly, how you can take back control. Our mission is to make mental health knowledge accessible, relatable, and real. This video was inspired by a viewer who shared that unresolved anger was slowly consuming their health, their sleep, and even their relationships. They wrote, "It feels like I wake up angry, I go to bed angry, and I don't even know why anymore." If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. So, let's understand what's actually happening inside your brain when anger becomes a habit rather than a reaction. When you feel angry, your brain instantly shifts into survival mode. The amygdala, your emotional alarm system, lights up like a fire siren, releasing a flood of stress hormones, adrenaline, and cortisol. That's your body's ancient defense system. It's the same reaction your ancestors needed when facing real danger, like escaping a predator. The problem? In modern life, our brain often reacts as if every inconvenience is a life or death threat. A rude text, a long line, a disagreement. Your brain doesn't know the difference. So, it sends the same message. We're under attack. This repeated activation weakens communication with the prefrontal cortex, the logical, decision-making part of your brain. Over time, this makes it harder to think clearly under stress, regulate emotions, control impulses. That's why people who live in constant anger often describe feeling hijacked. Their brain literally gets stuck in fight or flight. It's like living with a car alarm that goes off every time someone walks by, even when there's no real threat. Chronic anger reduces activity in the prefrontal cortex and increases connectivity in emotional centers like the amygdala, meaning the brain becomes wired to react before it reflects. Now, let's look at another region. The hippocampus, responsible for learning and memory. Prolonged exposure to cortisol, your main stress hormone, actually shrinks the hippocampus over time. A 2016 study published in Biological Psychiatry found that people with chronic anger and high cortisol levels not only reported more irritability, but also experienced frequent memory lapses and difficulty focusing. This means anger doesn't just make you tense, it can literally make you forgetful and unfocused. You might lose track of conversations, misplace items, or struggle to concentrate on work. This creates a frustration loop. You get angry, your memory slips. You get angrier because you forgot, and the cycle repeats. Chronic anger doesn't just live in your emotions, it lives in your neurons. Here's the part most people never realize: anger can feel rewarding. Each time you get angry, your brain releases a hit of dopamine, the same chemical released when you eat chocolate, win a game, or scroll through social media. That's why blowing up can feel weirdly satisfying. It's your brain saying, that rush. That felt powerful. But this creates a dangerous loop. 1. You feel angry. 2. You get a dopamine surge. 3. Your brain remembers the rush. 4. It subconsciously seeks more opportunities to trigger it again. This is why some people seem to look for reasons to get upset. Not because they enjoy suffering, but because their brain has been conditioned to chase that internal chemical hit. In a way, anger can function like an emotional addiction. And just like any addiction, awareness is the first step to freedom. Anger doesn't just stay in your mind, it invades your entire body. When anger becomes chronic, your nervous system is stuck in overdrive. Heart rate increases, blood pressure rises, digestion slows down, the immune system weakens. The American Heart Association has linked chronic anger to a higher risk of heart disease, strokes, and even reduced life expectancy. Emotionally, it's just as damaging. Living in constant anger can lead to anxiety, depression, and emotional burnout. You may feel constantly on edge, drained, or like peace is something other people get to have. But not you. It's like leaving your car engine running 24/7. Eventually, even the strongest engine burns out. The good news, your brain is plastic. It can heal, rewire, and adapt. But you have to give it the right signals. Here are science-backed steps you can start using today to calm your brain's anger circuits. 1. Pause and breathe. When you feel the heat rising, stop. Take a deep breath in for 4 seconds, hold for 2, and exhale slowly for 6. Deep breathing lowers your heart rate and reactivates the prefrontal cortex, giving logic a chance to return. 2. Take a time out. When you feel triggered, it's okay to step away. A few seconds of physical space can prevent emotional escalation. Say to yourself, I'll respond when I'm calm. 3. Use a mental anchor. Pick a grounding word or image, something like steady, breathe, or picturing a calm lake. Repeating it shifts your body from fight or flight to rest and repair mode. 4. Reset your body. Splash cold water on your face. Press your feet firmly into the ground. These sensory actions stimulate the vagus nerve, signaling to your body, I'm safe. 5. Channel anger into movement. Turn that energy into motion, exercise, running, drawing, cleaning, journaling. The key is release, not repression. You can't control the waves, but you can learn to surf them. Short-term tools are great, but lasting change comes from understanding what fuels the anger in the first place. Step 1. Explore. What's behind it? Anger is rarely the true emotion. It often hides hurt, shame, fear, rejection, or disappointment. Ask yourself, what is my anger trying to protect? For many, anger was modeled in childhood as the only safe emotion. If sadness, fear, or vulnerability were punished or ignored, anger might have become your only form of expression. Step 2. Recognize your warning signs. Your body gives clues before your mind explodes. Tight stomach, clenched jaw or fists, shallow, rapid breathing, flushed skin. Noticing these sensations early lets you intervene before anger takes full control. Step 3. Identify your triggers. What consistently sparks irritation? Certain people, times of day, stressful routines. Track them in a journal for a week. Awareness equals control. Once you know your triggers, you can plan responses or avoid unnecessary exposure when possible. Step 4, practice compassion. The more you punish yourself for being angry, the worse it gets. Instead, treat anger as a signal, not a failure. Self-compassion lowers cortisol and helps your brain feel safe enough to change. Step 5, seek professional support. If anger is hurting your relationships or your well-being, therapy can help you uncover its roots and teach healthier coping mechanisms. There's no weakness in asking for help, only wisdom in wanting to heal. Neuroplasticity means your brain is always changing. Every time you choose calm over chaos, you're literally rewiring neural pathways. Think of it as repaving an old, bumpy road. The more you practice new responses, the smoother that new path becomes. Mindfulness, breathing, gratitude, and emotional awareness all strengthen the prefrontal cortex, giving you more control over your reactions. Your brain can learn peace just as it once learned anger. Chronic anger doesn't define who you are. It's not your personality. It's your brain's overactive defense system trying to protect you. But protection isn't peace. When you start listening to what your anger is trying to say instead of letting it speak for you, everything changes. You will think clearer, feel calmer, and reconnect with the version of yourself that anger once buried. If you're ready to start that journey, check the helpful resources linked in the description. They're free, evidence-based, and designed to help you take the next step toward emotional freedom. And finally, let's start a conversation. Have you noticed anger affecting your thoughts, memory, or relationships? Share your experience in the comments. You never know who might feel less alone because you decided to speak up.